Welcome back to more Nova Arcana developer commentary. Ah, next up, we're going to go to the Crystal Gardens.
Crystal Gardens. So yeah, off camera we were talking about how it's hard to see these signs from certain angles, and that made me think about how I was thinking about how I could just, instead of using signs, I could just say Area 1, Glowstone Gardens, and kind of display that once the player goes into the area, and then make it a little bit more unobtrusive every time you enter the area afterwards.
I see.
Because such a big command might look kind of ugly every time.
Right, it'd be like entering the corner of the fundaments every time and getting the boom, boom, like every time you're going in kind of thing.
Exactly. I would probably pair even a sound effect with the text showing up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, the first part of Crystal Gardens, I try to kind of lead the player out to somewhere where I have working space. Because there isn't too much working space here at the moment.
When you say working space, what do you mean?
To actually make the area. So I
Oh,
try to
like
just move.
physical space in the map in terms of...
Yes.
Got it. Because things are so compacted together or whatever, like, yeah, I guess if I go into spectator mode really quick, um, yeah, we can see where the rail line is. Obviously, the monument's right over there. Yeah, there's still a fair bit of space, actually. Wasn't sure how thick the walls were going to be between one area and another here, but okay. Gives a sense.
Yeah, I try to avoid it using too much. So the enemies, the Crystal Warriors,
Mm-hmm.
they're basically, their trait is that they have knockback on their swords, and that they have that they get no knockback. Wait, actually, the first part might be a lie. But yeah, the main thing about them is that they receive no knockback.
Right.
So you kind of have to plan with that a bit. And
Yep.
unlike the fundaments below, where you kind of have the same type of enemies, this is more of a
Right.
cave style area. You actually have to kind of jump around, and there's more ledges to fall over of. And then right here I try to I put some money here, and then a spawner around the corner, and there's a spawner above you. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind of try to distract you with
Yep.
the money.
Yeah, so all of a sudden monsters be falling on your head as you were unawares.
Mm-hmm. And then there's just a bit of money here. And some lapis. If you actually walk out
No way.
on here, and if you look back and up,
Ah. Hello, ceiling lapis.
so if you're looking, hello.
Yeah,
If
and the glowstone actually lights it up even if you don't have any night vision or anything. Yeah, I would totally see that if I happened to walk out and just wanted to take a look over the submarine city.
I try to really use the opposite effect of you put a spawner above a ledge that the player can't see, but now it's just some loot.
Mm-hmm.
So now instead of being rewarded for finding it quickly, for finding a spawner quickly, you're now rewarded with actual loot. And then at the same time, you get a cool vista at the Vertigo Mines.
All right.
So yeah. Then we go down.
And yeah, as you first walk into this area, like you start seeing the snow on the ground, and so you already have, high alert expectations of somewhere there's going to be some cheese snow.
Mm-hmm. So try to also put snow in small splotches everywhere, so it's not too obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can choose the upper path or the lower path. Ooh, scary. Which one did you choose?
I probably chose the upper path first. I think I chose the upper path. But I guess they both end up kind of looping around.
Mm-hmm. I put that sign specifically there just so people wouldn't first go through the upper path and then go through the lower path and be like, oh, this loops to the same place.
I see.
Oh, why
So
did
you're
you
kind
do
of cluing
this?
it in that it's like you could choose to do just one or the other and you'll get to the objective.
Exactly.
I appreciate that.
And then here is the first cheaty snow trap.
Hmm.
And
I
then
guess
every
we're
one
going to
of
read
them
all the signs.
has a pun.
Nice of you
Nice
to
of
hang
you to-
around.
So yeah, most of these are just me kind of trolling the player instead of actually killing him.
Yeah,
And
this
then-
was a little bit like, what was the name of the path? Not Verdi Passage, but the other one?
Oh, not basalt. Ballast.
Yeah, Ballast Passage or whatever. It's kind of a little bit like Ballast Passage 2.0 in that regard.
Mm-hmm. And smaller offshoot. Both paths are just very linear. And basically one is the upper one is the lower one, as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And the upper one is more narrow and more linear, and the lower one is just more open and more direct.
Right.
So yeah, and I specifically kind of used the snow in a way where you wouldn't expect it to be a cheesy trap.
Yes.
Like, right?
You did a very good job of that in this one, I have to say. Because that one's not obvious that that's where it's going to be. Especially
Don't
when there's
expect
these other
them.
big splotches around, yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to distract you and then surprise.
Yep.
So yeah, just standard loot chests.
In terms of the big
torches.
picture of like the design for the upper path and the lower path, like, did you just want to make an area that like had that kind of choice, or was there something in terms of the space and the way that you were gonna do the crystals for the aesthetics of the cavern that made it, you know, susceptible to doing multiple paths? Or
I started with the upper path, lower path idea, and then I first made the lower path because that's the easiest to do, and then I basically thought, how could I get the upper path into it? So I just kind of made offshoot ledges and then some bridges in between, and
Okay.
then some tunnels to basically make it one path.
But you had the multiple paths in mind from the beginning.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that made this area quite big. I think this is one of the bigger areas. Maybe a bit too big. I cut actually some parts out of this area. So it is shorter than I first intended.
I see. I don't remember it feeling all that big, but I guess trying to remember what order I did things in. I don't have a great memory of this area for whatever reason.
I think you did this area as one of the latest i3 ones.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds plausible.
So yeah, this one is placed. So if you come from over here, I kind of have this kind of stone wall in your face.
Right.
You cannot go to the left, so I really tried to make the player walk right here. I hope I'm not leaving you in the cold with this one.
Swimmers potions.
Kind of like your
Frozen.
getting cold.
Yeah.
And then there are some of the snow layers on either sides. There's some
Crystal
spawns.
warriors, yeah.
And then you have the returning towers. These little fortified bastions with extra spawners kind of clumped into it.
Indeed.
Just a little fun challenge to make it harder. So yeah, they always have 2 zombie spawners, and 1 spider spawner and 1 skeleton spawn on the upper level.
I see. And the prankster. This is another
Pranks-
making a return appearance from multiple maps, I think. Infinity and Mending.
It's a good bow. Because you
Mojang took it
normally
away
put
and Render gave it back.
Gave it back, exactly. Just like how I put looting on everything that it's not supposed to go on.
Right.
Because looting gets applied when you
Our
hold
holding.
something in your main hand, yeah. So yeah, from this big ledge you can also have another vista again to the vertigo mines. Trying to make everything interconnected.
Oh yeah, I don't think I ever really came out over here to take a look at all this.
And from here you can even see...
Over here you can almost like see where the emerald's going to be in the vertical mines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I had night vision, I would totally see it. Anyway, go ahead.
And then there's a little ledge here. I kind of like these. Whenever I accidentally create these little ledges, I just turn them into secrets or...
And when you say accidentally create the ledges, is it just from like eroding the walls and putting in the stalactites and stuff like that that you're talking about, or?
Yes. So these get created when I create a cavern. I have to put a few brushes down, which is just kind of a radius around where I click.
Right.
Blocks get removed, and then this one, it was kind of more inwards. So it kind of created this ledge, and then I made it look less like a sphere.
Yep.
By eroding it.
Okay.
So yeah, the lower and upper path theme continues over here by having pillars with bridges above the lower path, so they're getting more kind of more connected here.
Right.
Because they're closer together. And then I signal, hey, there's gonna be some creepers underneath the snow. Some here, and then the player will hopefully find the money by looking for creeper spawners. Kind of as a little surprise. So you continue along. And here I try to pull another sneaky snow trap.
I can't remember if I might have fallen in this one or discovered this one or... Another pit, another snarky comet. Stone cold.
Stone cold. And then some more lapis. This kind of offshoot with blaze spawner. Quite straightforward. So right over here, this flat wall. This used to actually continue on. And
oh wow.
You would have another one of those spawner towers. Actually, the spawner tower used to be in this section. And it would be another kind of big room that would lead to where the creepers are, all the way in that corner, basically.
Okay.
So all the way over there.
Got it.
I know I basically removed it because I felt this area was getting kind of too long.
Let's see.
Because you first have the long path, either up or lower. Maybe even because you might explore both.
Right.
And then you have the whole
layers as well, I'm sure.
Afterwards.
Yep.
So yeah, and then here the paths join together at the staircase.
And this staircase was mean.
It's one of my... Yeah, this one caught a lot of people.
Yeah. I guess there's... Yeah, I guess because it's so well hidden. Oh, and there's 3 in a row. Okay, that's why you get so many. I didn't remember that. I just remembered there was creeper spawners under the staircase, and it was not as obvious as some other spawners under staircases have been.
This one was really mean.
So, yeah, got some people. That's good.
I guess we can go to the lower path.
Yeah, just kind of like backtrack through the lower path, maybe.
We can also start from the start.
Okay, all right. I'll teleport to you. Okay.
All right. So, Yuk-ti-doo, I'm a player. You.
I think I did fall in this one because I think this was one of the first. Yeah. No cold feelings. All right.
Right. It actually was pretty hard to actually make up all of these.
Yeah, I bet.
Just look up on the internet. So that's why they're switching between web ones and cold ones.
I see.
So yeah, straightforward.
Yeah, it is a lot more
So yeah,
open down here.
and then you have this kind of like horseshoe lava with cobwebs, kind of turrety,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a skeleton behind there. And then chest, anti-projectile.
It's only gold.
Yeah, it isn't too great of loot.
Yeah.
It's just something.
Yeah.
And on the other one, there's money. And then over here, this one was meant to be kind of more obvious because it's quite big.
Right.
So when you trigger this one, you fall down into creeper heaven.
Indeed. So yeah, this area felt very treacherous, as I recall, and I think it's just because there was so much snow, and so in addition to just the mobs that you're fighting and spawners on different sides or whatever, like I was always continually trying to be clever and careful in terms of looking at all the bits of snow, and so that really slows you down and makes the area feel that much more dangerous.
That's why I also felt this area was getting big, because people would probably like take a lot of time trying to not walk.
Right.
Especially since I put it everywhere. I don't think I put any one wide holes, because that would be really
I was
mean.
I was just gonna ask you about that, if there was any one wide by one wide, and yeah, it would like fall down to like, I don't know, the void or something.
Oh, that's so mean.
Just
Straight up.
just to get that
Oh,
one
no.
person who is really gonna have a bad day.
Oh,
That would be awful. Yeah.
yeah.
Is there any
There's
void in
no,
the map since we're
I was about to say there's no void in this map.
Okay.
Because the death totems don't. You will not get your stuff back.
right?
Let's
Right.
put
Yep.
And then on the right here, there is,
This was had something good in it, as I recall.
yeah.
Food.
I like using the bits also, like, for you. So yeah, a little sandwich with some cake and a lot of apples, so you can make golden apples.
Or you could just eat them for a little bit of healing if you wanted to do that too.
True, that can be done as well.
But yeah, it is kind of cool that the pits are like, sometimes you're going to die, but occasionally you're going to get something good. So it makes you incentivized to try to find and check the pits sometimes.
Instead of just using your foot to check.
Indeed. So I'm over here where there's something else suspicious.
Something else suspicious here. Oh, hey.
It's money!
It's money!
Hooray.
When you said there's something else suspicious, I was like, what did I do? Or what did I not do?
I see. So you didn't even remember
Was
this.
it wrong? Yeah, I don't remember this
I
one.
see. Just like random kind of. At some point, you're up late at night doing more polishing on the map, and you're like, here, let's just throw some money in here.
Exactly. Or that was just almost there, and I was like, oh, let's just finish the job.
I see. Like a brush kind of almost made the X, and
Exactly.
I see. Okay.
Precisely. More words that I commonly use. Do you, as like a streamer, try to be careful about not using words too much, or I feel like I have some stop words that I keep using over and over?
It happens to me sometimes. I feel like I kind of go back and forth in phases where I either don't care or don't think about it or notice it, and then other times where it's happening a lot and I'm trying to be careful about exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Flame
Yeah, this is
Clinger.
the same sword again. as in
Yeah.
The
Fundaments? The front of the
Fundaments,
Fundaments.
I like reusing custom loot because I kind of hate making it. It's just so time consuming.
I see.
And It also makes stuff a little bit more recognizable, I think. So it's a
Right.
good idea.
Yeah, if someone had been using the sword below, previously or whatever, and like it had run out of durability or whatever, they're like, "Oh, I got another one, a replacement."
Mm-hmm. Oh, I
And
remember that sort of map.
and
That was a
also
pretty good.
it's like the kind of just the way this map is structured in terms of being pretty open in terms of the order that people can do things, like having the same loot in somewhere in intersection 2 and somewhere in intersection 3 just kind of like makes sense so that people will find it no matter what order they're kind of doing the map.
Mm-hmm. And then over on this pillar that you don't get to. So this is technically lower path, even though it kind of looks upper pathy.
Right.
There is money, and you will most likely like the feather falling here.
If you hadn't already put it on your own boots, yeah.
Exactly.
And if you happen to look up,
It's green.
there's a bit of stained glass that's a different color.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this definitely felt a lot of this area felt a throwback to Myriad Caves. And yeah, even coming down to the green spike hiding the emerald.
Yeah, which is even done in crystallized. Yeah, crystallized.
Yep.
But in this one, I really try to get the actual kind of big crystal chaos pillars everywhere feeling that you always see in those kind of cave exploration photos
I see.
where you see like big quartz pillars going everywhere.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't really just kind of stood back and looked at this area very much. Um, and yeah, it is big and chaotic with I guess yeah, if I'm thinking back to Myriad Caves and Crystallized, like the stained glass bits were kind of smaller and kind of more confined to the ceiling and different spots. Whereas here they're really kind of invading the whole center of the cavern.
And really kind of make it almost feel claustrophobic, even though it's still very open in one sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you continue along the path, and then there is another pit.
Somehow I didn't fall in it. Oh, there it is. Okay.
You were telling me I'm the chosen one, but maybe I am the frozen one. The word maybe is missing. That's another Dance Gavin Dance reference.
Okay.
They're everywhere as well. That's one of my favorite bands that I listen to.
I see. Yeah, definitely
So
there were a few places, yeah, where there's like inside jokes that are too inside for me.
uh-huh. I like referencing things.
Hmm.
So yeah, basically return to the path and your cold pit stop because you're so far away that you really do need this.
I see. What if people don't have wood?
Um, at least they still have legs, so they can walk back.
Okay, fair.
Always have wood on you.
That's my theory of Minecraft as well. It's like if you don't have wood is one of the things that's always in your inventory. Like I think I usually like keep it in the upper left of my inventory or whatever. Um, it's like, why are you playing this game? You need wood for
Uh,
everything. It's like iron and terraria.
I,
You must always have it.
I always have like 4 stacks of torches and then another stack of coal and a stack of logs and stack of cobble, so you can always make your essential tools.
Right.
Sometimes I actually have the idea to just not put any coal, just so the player kind of realizes that he has to actually manage his resources a little bit more, because that's still part of CTM maps.
Right. Yeah, especially in the beginning. Yeah, you can definitely in the first couple of areas or whatever, like have a lot of kind of resource management kind of challenge if you want.
Mm-hmm. Or more in open world maps as well. I think in open world maps it's a bit more interesting.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember feeling that way definitely with the first Final Fantasy map, um, because wood, like there weren't any saplings, and so wood wasn't really a easily renewable resource, and so you kind of had to explore in different directions just to find more wood at any given point in the map.
Yes, and that map also didn't put wood literally everywhere like most CTMs do nowadays.
Right. It was actually pretty stringently held back or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm, I kind of want to do more of that as well, like a more heavy survival focused map.
Right. Yeah, I enjoy that, but yeah, I don't know that a lot of CTM players do, so it's, you're kind of choosing your audience intentionally or not when you do that kind of stuff. So,
I
it's good if
think
you're going to do that. Yeah, maybe to either have a map that's devoted to it or, like do it hard in the first couple of areas and then you reach a first intersection or something and it eases off.
yeah. So then you get like an infinite source of that stuff, but you still have like iron ore that slowly gets sprinkled or
Right.
whatever else you need. I think the survival based CTM, if you can just do that pretty well with also the dungeon crawling, like combination of it, it is a pretty good combo.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of how Waking Up has the best of both, in my opinion.
I see. It's been a while since I've watched that map or played that map, and so I don't remember exactly what it was like in that one.
Basically, you got infinite food in the second area, but it was only mushroom stew. So you kind of still had the idea of you need to be careful with your food.
Got it.
Coal in the end section was kind of rare. And then you actually kind of had to plan out how to get your enchanting and brewing stuff in that map as well.
Let's see.
And then you get a relatively low amount of iron. So yeah, this is just to kind of make the player look in his chest for a long time. Just all these semi-useless books.
Right. And
And then
meanwhile,
there's
there's creepers.
only two, not four. And there's some money even. And then if we continue along the path, we will find lots of Endermen and the moon charm.
Dun dun dun. Moon and sun, as you
Oh,
said, were like two of the really good ones. Oops. I
hmm
guess I broke the top and you were aiming down and you tried to break it at the same time.
yeah.
And I just destroyed it.
Um, I think. Oh, you just destroyed it.
Well, my
Sad. We
inventory
might.
was full and I picked it up.
Oh yeah, we might talk about it later. So yeah, it has three buffs and one debuff, and might be minus speed or might be minus health.
Yeah, I don't remember which one, but the buffs, was this the one with the like
It might.
knockback resistance and armor toughness or something?
Yeah, that might be it, and then minus speed. I
Right.
think that's
Yeah,
that
that
one.
sounds right. And I decided, I looked up and I was like, I'm going to be on ledges in the ceiling and there's going to be stuff shooting at me. And knockback resistance sounds like the greatest thing ever. And so this was the first thing that I was like, you know what? Rather than have a shield, let's try using one of your charms.
Mm-hmm. And the moon is kind of like you're resting, so you're kind of slower, right? So that's why the minus slowness.
Okay.
And then the sun one, when you're supposed to be active, has more movement buffs as well, like strength, speed. I think also swing speed. So it's kind of like they're kind of like opposites
Yeah.
of each other.
I definitely, the opposite thing I keyed in. Like, I remember coming up to here and reading the moon charm, and I had already had the sun charm, and I was like, I bet it's going to be this. And then it was this. So I was happy about that, in
Mm.
terms of like the naming actually suggesting something as you're going through the map.
Yeah, so the Terra and Gale have that because one is earth, one is air.
Oh, I never even
And
thought about that.
you have endurance and then you have vigor, which are more side by side, kind of.
Right.
So yeah, I try to kind of be creative with the names as well.
I see. All right. Did not realize how much went into all that.
Yeah, it takes. I don't like just blindly making items. I kind of like to take my time and make them a bit unique and more memorable. So yeah, this is the final tower, final tower you will find.
Right.
Of this type. No copy-pasted towers anymore. And yeah, you have a smite sword and then just some backup gear that's mediocre.
Yeah.
The main takeaway item is the smite sword and the golden apples.
Yeah, the golden apples are always nice. Yeah, we didn't talk about kind of like the golden apples a whole lot so far or whatever. Like, they were extremely handy. Is this, by the way, did Calamity Canyon have pretty much exactly the same trap? I guess it was sand that fell down. It doesn't like the same shape.
Exactly, it's the same shape.
Okay.
Same amount of spawners almost as well.
Right. And I guess this one's nice because even if you haven't broken the snow, I guess the creepers could just like start coming out of the snow from below. So it also gives kind of a potentially good visual effect.
The cheaty snow actually used to from version 1.12 or 1.13, it actually had a hitbox, maybe even earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So floating snow, you wouldn't fall through it.
Oh, so you could actually like walk over it.
Yeah, so this was really for the people who actually triggered it, who actually broke it. Then they would come after you, otherwise you would be safe.
I see.
It's like you touched a big gravel pile and you should not have done that. You should have just left it alone.
Got it.
Kind of trap.
Got it. Interesting.
So trapping the idea of it being a trap. And yeah, I recently discovered, like in the map before this one, Horrify, that actually got added back somehow. I don't know how. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna immediately capitalize on it because nobody has used it in quite a while.
I see.
Snow.
There's a lot of iron here.
Yeah, this is intersection 3.
Yeah, and
I really want to make don't run out.
Yeah, like you said, I think this was like maybe the last of the areas that I came to over here. So at this point, I was like, yep, I've already got iron. Ignore, move on.
Next. And then some money near the blaze spawn on top.
I see. Yeah, as we've been going through the map in most every area, like there really is a lot of money around that I either didn't see or did see and didn't mine. So if I really had gone after the money, I would have not felt as poor as I did throughout the map.
Yeah, I basically put it everywhere so people who explore literally everything would get rewarded more for people who don't.
Right.
So and that also allowed me to put less chests in everywhere.
Yeah.
I like money.
Yeah, currency is a good thing. Like, yeah, definitely keep doing that.
And then here we get to the gravity section.
So, like one of the first things you do as you're crossing into this section is you have kind of like this lava curtain or whatever, so you can't even like necessarily see what you're getting yourselves into. Was that kind of intentional, or was it just kind of like the layout of the area, or?
It's I think it's more. It just happens.
I see. It was nice.
I think it does give a pretty cool effect. I think I later used it where I put blaze spawners behind the lava curtain.
Right.
Or at least behind a pillar.
Yeah. Lava curtains are nice from that point of view. They can hide something behind, or it can just be a way to, obscure what you're about to walk around to, but still be, it's a non-solid block. You could fire arrows through it if you're running back and trying to hit the mobs who are chasing you.
Mm-hmm. So you would do kind of a double back, giving this blaze spawner some time to spawn.
Yeah, I think basically like I saw the blazes start to spawn from here and I immediately just pillared up. Get rid of that guy
Yeah.
ASAP.
So here I'm actually also checking for what the player is doing, because all the player has to do is place a block here and then
Sorry,
place
let me
here.
teleport to you. I've lost track where you are.
So
Oh,
if
right
you
here.
stand here,
Uh-huh.
you can literally just take a staircase like this and grab it that
Oh,
way.
wow. Okay. Yep.
So it's kind of testing like how witty is the player, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
What's
did
the
not see
play?
the almost complete staircase there.
So I'm basically make use of these spikes that are just hanging out.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I guess because it's stained glass, like I tend to visually parse the terrain pretty well when it's blocks, but there's been a few places here in this area where you've gone and stood on the stained glass, and I didn't do it. I didn't see it, and so my brain just like thinks about the stained glass differently than other blocks, I think.
I think everybody's brain does that, because I don't think I saw many people do it, and stained glass is not really something you expect to be walking on, especially when it's translucent and everything else is not translucent.
Right. So yeah, I never actually looked back here to see what was going on. I just blocked it off. Ah, hi zombies.
So yeah, pretty
Straightforward.
simplistic design,
Yep.
straightforward and effective. And then I made sure that the floor is bedrock, so only zombies can spawn there from the spawner and not naturally, and empty out the dispensers.
Ah, got it. Yep, yep, yep. That's smart.
Sure, that doesn't happen.
Yep.
So here we do another splitting thing, so you can go left or right.
Yep.
Left is a dead end. First you have archers and another one of the walls,
Yep.
which take quite a bit of time.
This little pillar, or I guess it's like a stalactite that's just kind of like hanging down in the middle, makes this so much more precarious because
I
I'm
I
going through the
explicitly
center and then yeah,
I purposely put that one there because
yeah.
at first it was just this, and then I was like, I can make this more fun.
Good
Let's just
job.
do it this. Because then you're immediately like, whoa, what's going on here? Especially with the mobs that could be behind it.
Right, and just forcing you to stand on the edge, like it's three wide, and three wide is extremely comfortable, and then all of a sudden with like the one block in the middle, so now you're just going around the one wide, all of a sudden it just feels that much more dangerous to me anyway.
And I made sure there's lots of lava everywhere, kind of close to the walkways, just so it also feels a bit more precarious.
Hmm.
And also so it feels like there could be something behind there, but there isn't.
Right,
Or there might be a blaze behind it. So
right.
it really also adds more tension.
Yep.
So yeah, both paths have a book slow chest. Yeah, just some book slow.
Yeah, just some more loot.
The amount of some people have been saying like, oh, that's not book slow, or that's because that's some very good books. It's actually the amount of books I put in.
Oh,
Because
the
book
word
slow,
on the chest refers to the amount, not the quality, basically.
yes, for those it does.
Got it.
Actually, yeah, and then for armor and tools, it does the opposite. It does
That's quality
quality.
rather than, yeah, number.
T. So yeah, just some better falling, which is nice. If you go here, you can actually go. If you actually go behind here,
Are we going to
there's
get to
some
the
lapis.
emerald?
There's some lapis here.
Oh, huh. Is there still a creeper or witch spawner or something around here, or did that get removed?
Creeper rich spawner? No.
Maybe not. Maybe it was just a random creeper. I remember War dying right there.
Oh yeah, his first death was there, I think.
And I think it might have just been like a random creeper that spawned up here and fell down or something. Or
Yeah, that was a random one.
okay, just bad luck.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
And then yeah, like right up here, like the path becomes a little bit less of a path, and now you're like bridging across the lava, but you can see there's more path there, and so this is still the path. Um, but yeah, I
Just
like that. Again, I don't know like what makes you, decide all of a sudden to kind of change things up or whatever, but
it's something I really learned from Skyrim's level design. It has massive dungeons that I'll buy the assets that make the thing if you kind of copy paste it.
uh-huh.
It is pretty good at making a dungeon that is first a Nordic ruin, then a cave, then a Nordic ruin, then a something else. So it kind of switches
Mm-hmm.
between the tile set it's using. So first here I just use bridge and then a kind of a more natural cave layout and then
Right.
go back to a bridge again.
Okay.
Especially for such a long area.
Yeah,
Kind of
it's
want to
just
shape.
good to have for me to have a framework to think about how you're doing that kind of design.
So yeah, kind of look into how Skyrim does its level design because it does pretty well with its limited assets that it has. So yeah, this one.
It's
It's
another
lava
Mega
fall.
Ripper.
Mega Ripper. So yeah, lava fall. There should be something behind it, especially when the walkway is going into it.
Right. And that one takes some effort to actually go after,
Mm-hmm.
unless you have fire resist or something.
Or you could just go around. Mm. So yeah, continue climbing. Continue climbing. Some different layouts with lava and spawners.
Deja vu right here.
Another one of these. And then there used to be charged creepers here. I don't remember. Oh yeah, it's a normal creeper now.
I see.
This used to be charged creepers. I don't know why I replaced it because this area isn't too difficult.
Definitely is a little bit surprisey cheaty with the guys hidden up here. And I don't remember.
Yeah, that's why I changed that.
I see. And yeah, I don't think I found this, so I presume this is a very good pickaxe. Calamity, Crusher of Canyons. It's almost as though you're making references to your previous map titles.
Mm-hmm. Half of these names, I want to kind of make jokes or references back to other maps.
Indeed. Well, that's a nice pickaxe. I guess it is iron, even though it looks... Yeah, it doesn't really look anything, actually. Doesn't quite look diamond, yeah. Looks cobalty, I guess is what you're going for.
Yep. And then we're at the top. And just 2 gas spawners.
And a lot of air, which is
Yeah.
very effective.
Yeah, so just the idea is to bridge out
Yep.
and grab the wool that way. And then maybe end the pearl out. The record is actually also called crystals when you get it from Crystal Gardens.
Yeah, to
That
what extent
happens-
did you use the record names or anything about the music to decide what area to put it in versus just, whatever?
So the actual record placements, I based it on a few things. One of them is the actual area, like you have the obelisks, which is an obelisk of inversion. Meadow is in the green area, for example, in the Verde passage.
Okay.
And I also put them in an order where if you listen all of them back to back,
Mm-hmm.
but it still kind of fit as an album.
I see.
because I actually have all the songs as well, just in an album that I can listen to.
Right.
And then also the color of the records are also kind
Yeah.
of based on where you find them.
Right. Yeah, we talked about already. Yeah, like the brown disc being in the Netherlands, for example,
Hmm.
was more kind of a brown wool kind of reference. But yeah, there were other kind of colors that already matched up.
There's also quite a few blaze spawners
I
for
see.
people
People who
bridge.
decide that they just wanted to use their scaffolding that they purchased to try to get around the whole area.
Yep, scaffolding stonks. Um,
Do blaze fireballs interact with scaffolding? I don't know if I.
Set it on fire and then the
Okay, and I guess if a
scaffolding.
bottom one burns, then probably the whole thing comes down. So,
Yes, yes, it does.
okay, so.
Speaking from experience. I guess we haven't checked out the lava layer. There is something around the lava. There's quite a bit of amethyst around here.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit in this nook and cranny.
Uh-huh.
And then there's some in between in this little ravine section.
Neat.
And then there's more here. You can get like a few blocks here.
Yeah,
So
I mean, this is a lot. Yeah.
and there's some more even here.
Having the full amethyst
Uh
rather than a nugget is really a big deal. Yeah.
huh. And then actually, if you continue on this beautiful lava walkway, then you will find chest.
Do. Golden pickaxe, unbreaking 10, fortune 5.
Fortune 5.
But it's not a gold pickaxe, so it's basically if you want to mine coal ore, it's though it were coal blocks almost.
Mhm. And it's a relatively fast pickaxe for spawners, so
Yeah,
that's what you can do with them.
yeah. The unbreaking
Me.
10. Yeah, yeah. But it's fun. And this connects back to where?
This connects back to.
Oh, the lava above the sewers.
Do I take fall damage?
Guess we're about to find out. Yup.
No! Yes, I was lagging.
I see. You said no, and it was like at the same moment that I saw your death totem appear.
Oh,
That was pretty funny. Good stuff.
my internet is not agreeing with the outcome.
I see. Ah,
So yeah, that was Crystal Gardens,
all
and
right.
it kind of overlaps with the crystals, at least overlap with the vertigo mines to make it feel like they're not just separate areas, but they're actually
Yeah,
kind of connected,
it was definitely infiltrating the whole kind of open space here near the mines.
like they're
Um,
growing everywhere.
yeah, and also just is I don't know, makes the whole area kind of more interesting to look at. It also helps orient the players some, I think. Like when we get into the vertical mines in a future section, like um, it's a place that just has a bunch of connections that are kind of going everywhere, but being able to look on one side and see the obelisks and being able to look on the other side and see the crystals kind of helps keep you oriented in terms of which portion of the area you're at.
Or seeing the big ledge part close to the castle. At least that's what I always oriented myself with.
Let's see.
Look at all those skeletons flying into
Yes.
the lava.
And I guess in some previous versions, you were talking about how, I guess, no, it was something else in terms of like having to fall in the void and mine carts or whatever. But I did see some people in previous versions of the map end up with just like stacks and stacks of mine carts left over. But I guess there was something that you were able to fix, or was it a Minecraft bug, or I don't remember what the story was.
Um, It's just that minecarts are so glitchy and you can't expect how to behave, kind of like TNT. So
Right.
now I made it so if the skeleton despawns, then the minecart itself just gets removed as well.
How
Previously,
did you actually make that happen?
um, the minecarts have tags in just tags in them,
Right.
and I basically basically just have a function running that says look for this minecart with this tag, and then unless it has a skeleton in a radius around it, which is a really small radius because it's basically in it,
Right.
then delete it.
Okay. So it's just, yeah, constant kill function, just doing checking for the condition of the nearby skeleton. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's a bit of a trade-off. Like it was definitely fun seeing it's almost like art when the minecarts start stacking up on top of each other, but it's also tons of entities that are going to lag out people's games and cause problems. So,
Oh yeah, I made a good joke where I just had like a whole weird stack that just about didn't fall because it was like swaying back and forth with all different minecarts,
uh-huh.
and then I just added the caption to it, balancing CTM maps.
That's a much better joke than all the signs inside the Crystal Caverns ice floors. So,
Yes, it's way better.
well done, sir.
Thank you. But yeah, I've removed that because minecarts standing still on top of each other triggered a ridiculous amount of sound bugs and eventually FPS bugs.
Yeah, it
So,
seems like, yeah, that's a recipe for disaster in terms of Minecraft performance. But it did look
hmm.
cool in the videos that I saw that people had captured it. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, I think that's probably a good place to leave it for today, having finished up the Crystal Gardens.
Hmm.
For the people on YouTube, I hope as always that you're having a great day. And we'll be back for more of Intersection 3.
See you next time.